Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen. Today we are making one of my favorite warm weather treats, Vietnamese summer rolls, often mistakenly called spring rolls. Spring rolls are crispy. Summer ones, easy to remember the right name because they're not cooked. They're served room temperature or cold, so they're refreshing during the warm weather months. Everybody loves them, kids love them, oftentimes made with shrimp and roast pork. Today I'm doing a little twist on it and I'm making it with fried chicken. So let me show you how to do this. The first thing that you want to do is pound out your chicken breasts. It's much better to pound them out and slice than it is to fry a whole chicken breast and cut it into strips. And the first thing that I do to get this prepared is just to drizzle a little bit of oil, any oil will do, and I just coat the breasts so that they slide and can be pounded on the plastic. And please don't use a wine bottle, it can break. Invest in a small little meat mallet. There's lots of uses for it in the house. And the first thing you do is strike it firmly in the center. And the reason you do that is you want to push the meat out to the sides. And then you work in a clockwise motion or counterclockwise motion, whatever is preferable for you, around the edges. And that is perfect. You want it about, I don't know, between 1/3 and 1/4 inch thick. And then all I do is I dip it into flour that's heavily seasoned with salt and pepper. And then I dip it into egg. And then finally into panko breadcrumbs. Now you can use seasoned breadcrumbs if you have them. You can use matzo meal, you can use cracker crumbs. Then once you're done sort of dredging this in the breadcrumbs, it goes into the fryer. This is exactly at 375 degrees, and we fry it for about 5 to 6 minutes until it's golden brown and cooked through, but not overcooked and dry. So this one's been cooking for about 3.5 minutes, and it's almost done. I have a beautiful brown color. Now, what's bubbling right now is not the food cooking, it's the liquid leaving the food that is spattering inside the oil. If we let this go until the chicken breast is completely silent in the oil, it'll be overcooked and too dry, right? All moisture gone. So you don't want that, but you want to begin to hear the food talk to you. Food talks to you when it's in pans and ovens and roasting and is on the grill. And once you get used to using all of your senses when you're cooking, you're gonna be a better cook. And I can just hear it now starting to die down. You hear it, it's getting quieter. So I know that I can let this rest. It's gonna drain off its oil. I'm gonna season it with a little salt. Now, while that cools, I want to talk to you for a little bit about what some people think is the hardest part of this dish, and I happen to think it's the easiest part of this dish. This is banh trang, which is a rice paper sheet, and it's essentially rice paste that's hard and crumbly, and it breaks, and it makes people think that this dish is impossible to make. There are 2 ways to do this. The first is to just let it sit in warm water. Turn it a couple times. Don't use hot water, it'll get soft too fast. It's still a little firm, but it's soft enough that it's going to roll beautifully. So you can do that, or, and here's a really fun one for the home cook. Take a paper toweling and wet it and put it on your board. Take a piece of the banh trang, put it in the water, lay it on the paper toweling. Do the same thing again, but squeeze out the paper towel. Same thing again, lay it on the paper toweling. This is also super fun and super sensible if you're gonna be doing 20 or 30 of these for a party. And the reason that this is so easy is that you have a constantly moistened stack that's not gonna dry out again. I know that some of you are watching this and saying, oh my gosh, that is so easy. I am now gonna so do this. And you should. Next thing that we want to do is we want to assemble our ingredients. Here's some rice noodles. We have fresh mint. We have cilantro, julienne lettuce. I've got some wonderful chive sticks, and I'm going to use those to sort of make a nice little decorative element. I have some julienne cucumber, and my favorite for this dish, some bean sprouts. And now, what I'm going to do is flip this over, right? Because remember I had that really damp one on the bottom? Usually this takes about 4 or 5 minutes. Let's see where we are here. That's perfect. So, First thing that I'm gonna do is lay down a little bit of noodle, a little bit of bean sprout. The only mistake that you can make with these is overstuffing them. Do not overstuff them, especially if you notice I'm using a relatively small sheet. I want to make sure I get some cilantro and mint, a little bit of the cucumber. My fried chicken has cooled enough. This is looking pretty darn amazing. And I'm going to take a piece of chicken about this size. I'm going to lay it right in there. So we have all of our ingredients into our spring roll. Find the end, hold this down with your fingers, pull it over. These sheets are super pliable, and then pull back. Just gently tug back. And what that does is it kind of snugs it up, right? You want to snug up your ingredients so they're nice and firm. And you make one rotation and take one of your chives and lay it in there. I'm going to fold my ends in, fold that end inside that piece of chive, and I'm continuing to snug in a little bit. I'm just applying pressure so that these roll firmly and not loosely. So, what I have here is a Hunan-style peanut dipping sauce. Recipe is on andrewzimmern.com. Takes about 3 minutes. It's got soy and chicken stock, garlic and chilies. I have ground peanuts, a little bit of red pepper, and then you can just lay your rolls, whether it's 2 or 22 on the plate. If you love Vietnamese food, learn how to make Vietnamese food and start with the most popular dishes so that your family is happy.